my crafty friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Terry from Vegs Taste Creates, back with another crafty video for you. So today's video I am creating for iCrafter using two of their new January 2022 release products. So first of all, we have the Impossible Box Valentine add-on. So if you're familiar already with iCrafter's products, you'll know that they have a number of these different Impossible boxes, and then they sell add-on sets, so you can basically make more use out of the original set. So the original one is the Monsters box, which is sold separately, but this is an add-on to use with that, with all of these different dies. So we've got like a doily one, some hearts, some more hearts, sweet Valentine, which is this one to enable you to cut into a little string of hearts. So various things, and like XOXO, to decorate your Impossible box. But you know me, I like to do things a little bit outside of the box, as it were, and just see, really look at different ways to use the products other than they were intended. So obviously this is the way it's intended to be used, and if you do want to do this and create any of these boxes, you do have to purchase the Impossible Box base set, because otherwise these are just the add-ons. You won't be able to make the actual box without that add-on, so just to make that clear. The other set that I'll be using is the Box Pops Scooter Love add-on, and again this works with the Box Pops oval base. So the Box Pops oval base creates this, which is an oval base, and then it flattens so it fits into a regular envelope, and this is such an adorable set with this gorgeous little scooter, all these heart balloons. But out of this one, I'll just be using the Be Mine. So I'm using the Be Mine from this, and from this one I am using the heart die, the Valentine die, and that's it. So I'm only actually using 4 dies, and I'll show you what I've done so far. So I've done the prep off screen. So I looked at this, and obviously the way it's intended to be used is on one of the sides of the box pop, so you can see that's the sort of size of the box. But what I've done, so this is an A2 size card underneath here, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and what I've done is I have used this die in a repeating pattern, so 3 times along the bottom and 3 times along the top. So essentially we've got a whole panel full of little hearts, and when I love like backing panels which create a lovely background, but they can be quite pricey, but you can actually make your own with a die like this, which is, I just think, is amazing. I then decided that I wanted to make a shaker card, so I've used the Valentine die just on a small piece of lovely vibrant pink card, and then I've cut down a small piece of acetate which will go on the back of there, so we're going to glue that onto the back of there, and then I'm going to build up some layers of foam tape and then pop some Nouveau Snowstorm flakes. So you can see there, they're like little confetti flakes, and they've got an AB finish, so they reflect the light and the different colours around them, and also some ice white Nouveau sequins inside as well, so you'll see that behind the sequins and the confetti. And then I've cut the words Be Mine, and I've cut them twice because they are very delicate, and I do like a lot of dimension on my cards, so I tend to, when I have delicate dies like this, I'll cut them out a few times and glue them together. So I've cut the B and the Mine out twice. But again, I love the font on this. It's so scripty and pretty. It's really nice. So I'm going to do that gluing. And then I just cut a backing piece, which this will go straight onto, which again is 4 by 5¼ inches. So basically that is so that we have a nice border around the card once it's assembled. So, and then you might notice over to one side I've got a pile of hearts. So obviously all of the little hearts that have fallen out of here I've kept, and I also ran through a piece of each of the 2 different pinks. I've got 2 different coloured pink hearts as well, so I am planning on just doing a bit of paper piecing with a few hearts here and there, just as an added extra little bonus. So there we go. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to do the gluing of this onto this and these 2 off camera, because you don't need to see me doing that. You know how to glue that. And then I'll be back in a moment, and then we will make the shaker element together. So I'll see you back in a moment. Okay, I've glued this panel, the decorative panel, onto the backing panel, and glued together the bee and the mine, and they will be either side of the shaker element. So next we make the shaker element. So basically I just used a scrap piece of card, and then I cut it down to the size that I wanted it to be, which was basically just the word with a little even border around it. And I then cut down a piece of acetate to stick on top of there. So I'm just adding this glue just around the edges of this, because we don't want any glue in the centre section, because that's going to be where the shaker element is. So just be careful not to be too heavy-handed with your glue. Make sure you're using a nice glue that you're confident with, a nice strong glue that you know the acetate is going to stick to. So there we go. Just pressing this down to try and make sure it's as adhered as it possibly can be. And then I've got some very thin foam strips which I'm going to layer on top of the acetate. So there you go, so you can see the front and it says Valentine. Everything that I've used in today's project will be listed in the description box below. So the brand new iCrafter products, and also the cardstock that I've used as well, and the confetti and stuff as well. So everything that I can think of that that I've used, I will link in the description box below. And just to take a moment to say that the links to the products, the iCrafter products, and the links to the card and any confetti and sequins and things, they're affiliate links. So basically that means that if you click on that link and buy anything through clicking on that link, it doesn't have to be that particular product. If you click through that link, anything that you purchase in that session, I get a small percentage of. So it's at no extra cost to you, but it just helps to support me and my YouTube channel. So a lot of people aren't aware of that. You know, obviously you can just buy things straight from the website. But if you click through one of my affiliate links, then, you know, I really do appreciate every time someone does that, because as a small content creator and as a person that only works part-time due to ill health, I do genuinely really appreciate it whenever anyone purchases anything through any of my affiliate links. So what I have here are some very thin foam strips. So I bought these. They were there's a big wodge of them, and I got them from Amazon. And they're really, really handy for, you know, because if you need a really thin bit of foam tape, with the best scissors in the world, it's just so difficult to actually make that happen to get it to be that the size that you want. So these are absolutely fantastic. They're so helpful for when you're making shaker cards. And my scissors that I use for cutting sticky things are quite sticky themselves. I think I need to clean them. So that needs to... Okay, can you see that from there? You can see that a bit over there. Push that down a bit. So obviously this is quite a small thing to turn into a shaker. So, you know, I'm not making it that easy on myself, but I think that it will be worth it because I think this card will look fantastic. And it's, you know, it's just a bit fiddly, but I mean, at the end of the day, card making's our hobby, isn't it? That's what we do. We do it because we enjoy it. So, you know, something being a little bit fiddly here and there, you know, it's fine. Yep, that should be about the length for that one. And just make sure that all bits of foam tape are edge to edge, because otherwise our little bits of confetti, not so much the sequins probably with this, but the confetti will try and escape. So we need to contain it. There we go. So I'm going to remove the adhesive from this and then put another layer of adhesive strips on top of that. Gosh, Terry, you're a glutton for punishment, you might be saying. Yeah, I am. But I just want it to be really nice and dimensional. There we go. So now we can remove the rest of our little foam strips and fill our shaker element up with goodies. So the fun bit. So let's get some of these sequins in. So now I'm adding in a few of the iridescent confetti. And there we go. So I'm just going to add a bead of glue on top of the foam pads, but just for extra strength I like to add wet glue as well. And then once we've done that, we add our backing piece to keep everything in place. And using the glue also gives us a little bit of wiggle time. There we go, we can see that that's shaking nicely. So we've got loads and loads of sequins and confetti in there, and you can see that all mixing together and having a grand old time in there. So that's fab. You can just see a few bits of the foam tape, so I'm just going to sort of scooch those down a little bit so you can't see it from the front, but I'm really pleased with that. I think that's turned out really well. So next steps, we've just got to stick this onto here and then arrange our little sentiments, and then add in a few hearts, doing some paper piecing. So let's crack on with that. Right, So I want this like dead center. What I think I will do, because it's going to be hidden behind there, is I'm just going to cut off the curly bit of the M and just a little bit of the E. There we go. So I've made the mine slightly smaller. There we go. So that looks better. So liberally apply glue to this and then get this centered nicely, and then arrange the sentiments around it, and then figure out which bits of paper piecing or which hearts I want to paper piece into. Okay, so yeah, that overhangs a tiny bit, but it's fine. It's completely fine. It's more important that to me that the shaker element was dead center. So I've got hearts of different coloured pinks. Don't want to infill any of the blue ones back in, but I will keep them because they'd be good actually as shaker elements for a future card. So I'm just going to play about and just add like a couple. So instead of like, you know, how usually you would use like a few like embellishments or sequins or something like that, I'm just going to, instead of doing that, I'm going to use paper piecing. Right, so I'm just going to stick these in proper using glue off camera, and I'll be back in a moment with the finished card. And here we go, my crafty friends, the completed card. So I'll hold that right up to the camera for you. You can hear that lovely shaker sound, and a nice full shaker element there in the centre. I think the addition of those little paper pieced hearts really add to it as well. And can you see what I mean about the added dimension, just adding an extra little something to the sentiments? It does take a little bit of extra time, but only like a matter of like a couple of minutes. So it's really something that I would recommend. It just really sort of like steps up your card making, to be honest, takes it to the next level, so to speak. So I really hope that you've enjoyed today's video. I personally have really enjoyed making this card. And just to remind you, it's these two sets that I have used. It's the Box Pop Scooter Love add-on and the Impossible Box Valentine add-on, and everything will be listed in the description box below. So please let me know what you think. Do you like this card? Do you think you'll be trying to recreate this or something similar? Has it given you any ideas to use any of your current stash to make something similar? And if you have enjoyed this video and you found it valuable and maybe picked up some tips, I'd love it if you would use your thumb and like the video, because that tells YouTube that people like my video. So that's all from me today, and I'll see and speak to you soon with some more crafty goodness. Bye for now.